So the Christians have begun to claim that Islam is devilish, demonic and satanic. Once again, this reminds me of the medieval war propaganda that was out there in the past. But it also shows that Christian apologetics has not evolved one iota when it concerns Islam. It's all old hat. Now, the surprising thing here is, and the Christians haven't learned, the surprising thing here is this type of claim leads to a great deal of embarrassment for Christianity. And this will be elaborated on later on, but let's address the claim. The one who made the claim is named Hogan Elijah Hagbard, a friend of mine, a fellow Brit indeed. So I was rather concerned a fellow Brit and a friend of mine would be making such unscholarly claims. So he shall be addressed. Essentially, Hogan, you are claiming to Islam to be satanic when you denounced Islam as a demonic faith. But the surprising thing here is, you, I know, are familiar with Nadir Ahmad's work, his argumentation, which he shows Islam is not satanic, and the Christians, your colleagues, have been struggling with his argumentation ever since. So I'm rather concerned that you dismissed his argument and just went down the satanic route here. Rather interesting, Brother Hogan. But his argument, for those who are not familiar, is if you really believe Islam is satanic, then how come it forbids alcohol consumption whilst Christianity does not? You may ask, what is the significance of this question? Well, alcohol, even in moderation, let me reiterate, even in moderation, leads to cancer. And for the pregnant lady and the unborn child, fetal alcohol syndrome is an issue here. If the pregnant lady drinks whilst being pregnant, the child is at risk of fetal alcohol syndrome. When the child is born, he or she is born with permanent physical and mental problems. You see, Islam saves people from cancer. Islam saves children from these type of diseases. And we all know of the other miseries that alcohol causes. Automobile accidents, heartbreak, and other health implications such as liver disease. So we know that Islam is saving people from such miseries while Christianity is not. So there's an issue there for Hogan to contemplate upon. And given all this information, we can safely conclude that Satan himself would approve of alcohol. He would give his seal of approval to it. Let's ask the question. Does Islam approve of alcohol? Certainly not. Islam forbids alcohol outright. It forbids its consumption outright. But what of Christianity? Well, we all know Christianity allows alcohol consumption. You see, Hogan, you and all the other Christians have real problems here. You see, you claim Islam to be devilish, yet it has better teachings than Christianity. And you believe Christianity is a religion from God. You see, this is real food for thought. You are British as well, Brother Hogan. You should have known of all the misery that alcohol causes. You know that our country is being brought to its knees through alcohol consumption. So I'm surprised you went down this path. You should know that Islam is not from the devil, because it contains good teachings such as forbidding alcohol, helping the poor. It's almost like you did not read the Bible, because the Bible confirms that that Islam is not from the devil. The Gospel of Mark, chapter 3, verse 23, tells you Satan cannot drive himself out, i.e. Satan will not call for good teachings, and Islam calls for the forbidding of alcohol, helping the poor, etc., and other fine teachings. So Satan would not do this. The Bible confirms this. So it's almost like you did not read the Bible and you did not look into alcohol here. It's almost like you just dismissed all this evidence in favor of this unscholarly claim. Now let me point you to a few other good teachings that Islam offers. It teaches us to believe in Jesus. Surely Satan would not teach us to do this. You see, Islam is not from Satan. And just to further convince you, As if, I don't think you need any further convincing. I'm sure you realize your error now. But let me just pass this on to you. Islam teaches us to follow Abrahamic monotheism. Islam is based on Abrahamic monotheism. You see, Jesus, Moses, and Muhammad, they all followed Abrahamic monotheism. Satan would not teach Abrahamic monotheism. Abrahamic monotheism is where you just believe in one God and only worship this God. Jesus did this. The Bible confirms that Jesus was praying to God, and Jesus followed Abrahamic monotheism. Moses followed Abrahamic monotheism. All the prophets followed monotheism. Satan would teach something in opposition to monotheism, like worshipping the creation, such as men, angels, stars, idols, etc. Whilst Islam forbids this type of stuff. I'm sure you've realized it by now. You made a mistake. I hope you removed the comment, the offending comment, and I hope you correct your beliefs here, Brother Hogan, because it does concern me. And I hope you correct those Christian colleagues of yours who spout the same nonsense. It just doesn't make any sense at all, Brother Hogan. And it also concerns me that a British Christian went down this route. I hope this is not a sign of the times. I really do. Because the British Christians I've met, they're normally reserved and well-mannered. And I know that the American Christian evangelicals on the internet, they are a little bit more abrasive and more unscholarly. And I do know that you have been associating yourself with American evangelicals. Perhaps you should, there's no perhaps about it. I would ask you to rethink your ties with these individuals, because it seems like they are not influencing you in a fine manner. Now, another issue that concerns me is you are a Christian and you believe God is inside you, yet you make such an unscholarly claim. So I ask you to rethink this belief that God is inside you. Now, just to end this video, we both believe Jesus has brothers and sisters. The Bible confirms this. You should know this. Let me point you to somebody who I believe is a brother of Jesus. His name, Yusuf Estes. An ex-Christian preacher. He's converted to Islam. He's doing a fine job in presenting Islam to the English-speaking audience. I've put some links up in the description section to some of his material. I ask all, including Brother Hogan, to benefit from the wisdom and knowledge therein. I've also put some links up in the description section from an ex-ordained deacon, like yourself, Brother Hogan. He has studied Christianity at an academic level. He's converted to Islam. So do view some of his material.